Individual factors refer to those factors that are built into human behavior and affects the steps of Tina's decision-making process in different ways. We begin with motivation. Motivation is a process that involves motives or drives to take action to meet a need. Tina had a drive or urge to feel safe given that she had three breakdowns, and this then motivated her to begin to look for cars. People's needs or urges can come from different levels. Maslow was a psychologist that explained that people first fulfill lower order physiological and social needs, like the needs to survive and the need to be loved, before fulfilling higher order needs such as esteem and self actualization. You can read more about this on page 60 of your textbook. Perception refers to how the customer sees the product. A person's perception is influenced by the extent of exposure to something, the level of attention they have when they are exposed to that something, and how he or she interprets the information, and perhaps what they recall after interpreting the information. For example, maybe Toyota didn't feature on Tina's list because she was not sufficiently exposed to the information, or the adverts could not be recalled, or maybe she was exposed, but there was something about the advert that offended her as she interpreted it differently, and this then left a negative perception of Toyota in her mind. Learning in a marketing sense can be defined as an anticipated change in the consumer's behavior based on experience. In short, learning is based on positive or negative experiences. The basic elements of learning include a stimulus to something, as in something needs to interest you in a product, for example. And if you are interested in the product, you will respond by either buying it or at least asking about it. And depending on your experience, whether it's positive or negative, then that behavior will be reinforced and you may or may not repeat the behavior. Attitude can be defined as a learned state of mind that is either neutral, favorable, or unfavorable towards something. Attitude is closely linked to perception and learning. Based on your perception, if a behavior is repeated over time, it's likely to set in as an attitude. Attitude consists of three components: a cognitive component, which is the thought level, affective, which is feelings, and behavioral, which refers to actions. In other words, depending on how strong an attitude is, it is either experienced or expressed in thoughts, feelings, or actions. Personality and lifestyle are the final two individual factors and are closely related. Personality can be defined as those inner psychological characteristics that determines how a person responds to or her environment. And lifestyle refers to things and activities linked to a person's style of living. For example, Tina will probably choose a car that reflects her personality and is suitable for her lifestyle. Group factors refers to people who influence the decision-making process. These include family, cultural groups, social class, reference groups, and opinion leaders. Family has two levels: nucleus, such as parents and siblings, and extended, which refers to grandparents, for example. Family plays different roles in the decision-making process. Let's look at Tina's family and see how they influenced her decision to purchase a car. Firstly, Tina had the problem. She had broken down 3 times, and so she initiated this decision making process. Tina happens to be the main decision maker in this instance and is also the user. Tina's husband and child played the role of influencer, perhaps influencing the style or color of the car and also the technical aspects of the car. Next, we look at cultural groups. A consumer's cultural norms and values could also impact on his or her decision making process. Social class refers to groups of people who have the same social standing in society and who show similar behavior patterns. Social class strongly influences consumers' lifestyle and is in general a good indicator of the type of products that the consumers would be interested in. If Tina wanted to be associated with a particular social class, she may be influenced to buy a car that aligned with others in the class. Reference groups refers to groups of people you want to be associated with and aspire to be like. And examples of these groups could include a gym membership, or it could be groups that you're automatically part of because of age or gender, for example, students. It could also include negative groups, groups that you don't want to be like. And finally, it could include groups that you aspire to be like but not yet part of. Finally, opinion leaders. An opinion leader is essentially anyone whom the consumers trust for opinion and advice on a product or service. This now brings us to the end of Chapter 3, Learning Unit 2. The second part of Learning Unit 2 is segmentation, targeting, and positioning, and will be explained in